Greetings, I'm Gerd Leonhard, futurist and public thinker. I love Lanzarote. We just bought a house in Las Brenas. We've been here many times. We enjoy Lanzarote for the last 20 years too. We come and go a lot. And there's some thoughts I have about the future of Lanzarote. I have some ideas about what the future of Lanzarote could be. I feel like ever since Cesar Manrique, we haven't really seen someone new emerge in Lanzarote that can step up to that vision of the future that we had back then. And this is sorely needed because Lanzarote has amazing possibilities and also challenging problems. Let's start with the first topic, climate change. Climate change is by far the most powerful factor that's happening around the world. We're going to head towards 2 degrees of warming at best, at worst 5 or 6 degrees. What that will mean for Lanzarote is obvious to everybody. Water problems, permanent kalima, energy issues, climate refugees coming across, and on and on and on, not wanting to paint any really bad scenarios here. But this is something that Lanzarote has to tackle. And of course, Lanzarote and the Canary Islands can't tackle climate change by itself and solve that problem. But we can prepare, we can shift our policy, we can resort to new sources of energy, we can do things different than before, we can make changes, and we can respond and prepare and adapt. Currently, I don't see that happening. We need to shift energy policy, climate policy, sustainability policy, environmental policy here urgently and declare a climate emergency. Because that will allow Lanzarote and the Canary Islands, by extension maybe, to present new ideas. For example, the concept of supporting electric mobility by having rental cars that must be electric, by requiring all new cars to be electric, by having rules and regulations and incentives, of course, as well, tax breaks and so on, to make the shift to renewable energy, to allow people to put up solar systems and power systems and wind banks and everything everywhere to create a climate-neutral energy zone. Other countries have done this. Look at Portugal. Look what Lisbon has done for sustainability. Look what's happening in the Azores, in part of Portugal, of course. Look what's happening in Greece. Look what's happening in Germany, 50% net zero already. And what's happening here, right? Lanzarote could be a giant showcase for green sustainability by setting preferences, by having laws and regulations and social contracts that make sustainability center stage, by creating new jobs in green energy. This has been a very big thing in Portugal. The green future, the green ecosystem, it doesn't just cost money. So a big shift that could be made here. There's many ideas and suggestions that I would have to share, and I'd be quite willing to share that with the government of Lanzarote and Canary Islands, because I think this is so important to think about creating a new perspective. On top of that, of course, is what's happening with tourism. We got to take sustainability and superimpose that on top of tourism and think about how we can change what we're currently doing, how to address the water problems, the energy problems, the housing problems for the locals. All of these things belong together in this future readiness concept, create a future-ready Lanzarote, to create an equitable, charitable, and equal society where everybody can take advantage of technological progress, bringing hotels to Lanzarote with 2,000 beds without thinking about where the employees will actually live. We need to think about where we want to go with this. And we need to have an emergency approach to create that kind of readiness and to allow for lawmaking to proceed. This is clearly an obvious opportunity for positioning for Lanzarote to become the leader in this turf, not the follower. And for that, we could create a new event in Lanzarote that's not about biking or outdoors, or about food and music and the beach and the volcanoes, an event that's about the future. I call this a Good Future Congress, and I would like your support in bringing that event to Lanzarote to accelerate thinking about the future and taking action, because we don't have a lot of time. We have 5 years to create that future. We have 5 years to take action. It's not too late. We can still do this. Lastly, I think Lanzarote could establish itself as a hub for digital media production, a hub for people who have ideas and startups, again, like Lisbon has done, to bring people to Lanzarote to work from here, to fund startups, to create rent-free zones with high-speed internet in collaborative areas like Lisbon has done. And it's not a hard concept to follow. We could do this in Arrecife, we could do it in Playa Blanca. many places that would be suitable for this, to bring people here, to work here, to create here, to raise the standard of living, to bring new ideas to Lanzarote, to create an economy of ideas, and to get away from the extraction economy where we take things like the beauty of nature, we just take things and we don't put anything back. So it's time to put back, it's time to think of the future. I think Lanzarote needs to be made future fit. I'd love to contribute